Hello and welcome to a few words from quarantine, me and my cat. If you hear someone like talking, there's my sisters downstairs. They're like having tea and biscuits at 5 p.m. So, you know, I'm quarantined with my family. Well, quarantined. We're in lockdown technically. We are meant to be indoor, and a lot of people have been asking me what's the situation here and what's happening in the UK. I thought I'd explain it a bit so that it makes it a bit more easy for people to understand. So what's happening here? First, I'm not getting dressed. Like, I'm in my PJ. Secondly, the thing that came out at the beginning and that scared a lot of people was that it felt like Boris was going to like let the virus spread and everyone was gonna get it and we were all going to be at some point immune from it. That obviously didn't happen. As everyone followed the advice of scientists, eventually the only way of actually doing something about this virus is not being around, not allowing it to spread, and flattening the curve, as everyone has heard thousands and thousands of times in the past few days and weeks. So where's my family? Well, part of my family is here. Part of my family, like my sisters, are here with me in lockdown in our house, and that's what it is. My parents are in Italy, in one of the red zones, and they were one of the few areas of Italy that were locked down at the beginning, because it's one of the areas where it was the strongest and most impactful. It's been scary. It is still scary when every day I turn on the news and I see the numbers of people who died and that still are dying, or whatever is happening in Italy. It's very difficult to see people going at the seaside or, you know, to the mountains like this is a vacation. It's not vacation. So yes, I am worried, partly for myself and partly in a way especially for my parents, because they're down there and they're obviously very worried about me as well. They never forget to mention it, which is quite stressful. We're all fine as of right now, luckily. In terms of my job, as you all know, I am self-employed. I do YouTube, but I work in film. The whole film industry in London at the moment is on hiatus or on hold, however you want to say it. But basically there aren't things being made because obviously, like, when we worked in crew. Working in crews means that we need to be a lot of people together working, and as much as people tried to keep the things going, eventually everything got shut down. So no Netflix production is actually working at the moment, no Prime, no commercials, music videos, nothing's happening. Therefore my job is in hiatus and I'm not getting paid for doing anything, which is great. And nothing has still been actually properly laid out for us self-employed. So at the moment I don't actually know where my income is gonna come from, because one of the main issues is that the only thing that we have at the moment as self-employed is universal credit. Universal credit is not much money a month, something like £350 a month, which is not even my rent. And also it's almost impossible to get an appointment at the moment, as the queues on the telephones are literally like 10,000 people in front of me. So we'll see what the government comes up with. At the moment I don't have a salary. Supermarkets were half empty. It's been one of the most terrifying things that I've experienced during this lockdown, is just going out to get food and not being able to get food, or like the greed and hunger and sort of like selfishness of people going out and just filling their carts with all sorts of supplies of, you need to eat your food now. Basically it's just been odd and scary and apocalyptic and it's real, and that has been the main thing that has been going on in my brain. Maybe it's because every day kind of feels the same and I could technically sleep whenever I want and be awake whenever I want, and there's no reason to do anything really, that I keep feeling like sometimes I mix reality and dream. It's odd. It feels like a film. It feels like it's not real. Like, you know, when you're in a dream and you're quite aware that it's a dream but not exactly. It's that really weird feeling, and I know it's a common feeling at the moment. Like, a lot of people are feeling like this, and it's very justified, I suppose, because it's something that nobody would ever thought they would live through. I can't believe that people are going to study this at some point, like we study other like epidemics and things like that. It's really odd. Got some friends working in the NHS and they're like truly heroes. Thank you for jumping on my camera. There are a few things that are helping me staying sane at the moment, if staying sane actually makes sense with all of this sort of like dissociation thing that's going on. Spending time with my sisters, working out and making sure that I exercise and I don't just stay in bed, because the main thing is I don't like being in my bedroom, because in my bedroom I just sleep and it ends up being me in bed all day pretty much sleeping, and I get extremely depressed and extremely down. I don't like being in my bedroom, so at the moment. It's just like I'm trying to be as active as I can. Yesterday I forced myself to do a doodle. I've been watching Peaky Blinders finally, and I love it, and it's great, and I've been doodling some stuff about Peaky Blinders. I've been working out and following all the people that are posting workout at home, workouts on Instagram. I've been trying to be artsy and taking a few photos. I've developed my roll-up film, my first roll-up film. I'm actually quite proud of how the photos came out. It was really odd, but it's difficult. It's difficult because I'm not seeing my friends, and I'm not seeing my boyfriend because he lives in another city, and this means I can't travel to see him, and I don't know how long this is going to last. So, you know, it just feels surreal. There's no way of explaining it without feeling dramatic. It's just like, you know, you can't see people, you can't gather with people. Supermarkets are weird, everyone's queuing very far apart, people are wearing masks. It's like, you know, when you used to watch those really odd apocalyptic films and you thought they were weird? I feel just like that. There's something odd about this whole situation. I mean, everything's odd. What's ordinary about everything that's happening? I just tend to feel very guilty most of the time, because if I spend time in bed not doing anything, I'm like, oh, but I should be writing my book. I've got a novel that I need to finish writing. I could be reading this book. I could be watching this thing. I could be working out and doing this. I could be sending emails. I could be drawing. I could be being creative, finding something to do. I could be, I don't know, making a jigsaw, you know, like I could be doing so many things, and I keep being like, oh, I've got all of this time where I could finally be creative. I could make a YouTube videos. Why am I not making YouTube videos? Well, we're gonna get to that right now. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to dress up. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't know what can add to all this. I want to make videos. I want to talk about what's going on through my head. I want to talk about the books and the movies I've watched, and I want to talk about my brain and all of the things I've been thinking about, and yet I can't bring myself to do it because I think I'm not going to be good enough for this website anymore. Like, my time is, you know, gone, and I don't know, there's no point in me making anything anymore. And maybe there isn't, but sometimes I just come back and I'm like, hey, I still have something to say in case anyone wanted to hear. I don't know, that's where I'm at, I guess. And it's odd because I want to feel like I'm allowed to not do anything. I'm allowed to, you know, be in bed and sleeping, and I'm allowed to. Why am I judging everything I do so harshly all the time? And why do I not just recognize that I am in bed and that's fine? I just feel like we put ourselves under so much pressure to be these superhumans that are supposed to be doing so much, and now I'm like in this really weird situation where I'm forced not to work, but I still don't know what I want to make in the world, or if there's really any point in making anything at all. You know, all of the crippling doubts that you normally try and avoid, and then in this amazing times just happen, and you're like, oh, do you remember all those things you were trying not to think about? There they are. But it's good because at least in this pandemic, we've got people that are around us and they're keeping contact with us. We've got books. God bless books, and God bless Netflix. Hopefully we'll be back in business making things for Netflix and all of that, and, you know, whatever I normally work on soon, hopefully. Hopefully my cat won't kill my TV. Hello, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. What are you doing? Don't look at me like that. In case you still want to see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna be trying and updating things in here, making things with my sisters, just because I don't have much else to do, as much as I can. But you can follow me on Instagram. I post quite a lot in there, and I like it. I'm occasionally even funny on Twitter when I try, even though mostly it's posts of my cat. Hopefully we'll get through this pandemic together, and in a few months we'll be able to talk about this experience, and it'll be something really weird that we've all done together, you know. But how's the situation where you are? What's happening? How are your parents, your grandmas? How are you? What are you doing to keep yourself busy? You know, we're all just as bored, I guess, and just as worried and feeling weird, I suppose. So I guess I will see you in my next video, and I promise there'll be one. Not sure when, but there will be. Yeah, I will see you soon. Take care of yourself and stay safe, and stay inside.